Once upon a time and a place, there were some who talked of the exalted flow of the space-time continuum, while others talked of the cold and impersonal energetic forces of the cosmos. These two views could not coexist comfortably because each held that the other was mistaken. Those who believed in the exalted felt compassion for those who didn't, seeing them as willfully rejecting righteousness in favor of a materialism and selfishness that would inevitably lead to cruelty and evil if taken far enough. Those who believed in the impersonal workings of primal energetic forces had compassion for the believers in the exalted, seeing them as being unable and or unwilling to face reality, instead choosing and clinging to ideas of wish fulfillment that were childish and that would lead to cruelty and evil when taken far enough. It seemed clear to both sides that the question, is there some exalted meaning to our existence over and above us, emerging temporarily from unthinking energetic interactions, could either be a yes or a no. That the truth of one view could only mean the falsehood of the other. It did not seem possible to either side that both ideas could be correct at the same time, because these two ideas contradicted each other definitively. And it did not seem possible to them that both could be wrong, because once the ideas of meaningfulness and meaninglessness were removed, nothing else remained. And so it was that these two cultures of belief came to live side by side, each having compassion for the folly and blindness of the other. Because while these two cultures were fundamentally opposed to each other in terms of their reasoning, they both recognized and honored the value and importance of love as a quality to be achieved and embodied. Believers in the exalted held it as a truth that the exalted loved its own creation with a purity of devotion that was absolute, and only wished for its creation to do the same. For this was wisdom, it was righteousness, it was good. Believers in unthinking primal energies held it as true that the most desirable quality to be achieved and embodied by all who knew themselves to be temporary passing phenomena of energetic interactions without agenda was also love, because life is hard and challenging for all involved, meaning that mutual love and respect can be the only tenable relief from and solution to such a shared situation. There was, at this time and in this place, two men who were good friends, even though One of them believed in the living consciousness of the exalted, and the other believed in the unthinking workings of primal energy. These two friends would often debate with each other the truth of their conflicting ideologies, each hoping to one day convert their friend to the correct and true way of seeing things. One day, the two friends heard word of a woman who lived in their town, who was said to embody more love and more logic than both the believers in the exalted and the believers in primal energy. This intrigued the two friends, and they went to visit her together in the hope of some stimulating debate. The woman was called Rebecca. "Yes," said Rebecca to Mark, who was the friend who believed in the primal energies. "There are primal energetic forces of existence. I refer to these primal energetic forces as foundational truths, truths that cannot help but be true, and must, therefore, show the truth of themselves. These truths cannot be created or destroyed, because there was never a time or place where and when they could not be true, and there never will be a time or place where and when they cannot be true. And so they can only continue to show themselves to be true forever, in an ever-changing dance of mutual collaboration and agreement with each other, because one truth can never break another. They can only accommodate each other and allow for each other." "And yes," said Rebecca to Jason, who was the friend who believed in the exalted, "these truths do become exalted, exalted in their complexity and beauty, exalted in their subtlety and mystery, exalted in their own apprehension of themselves and each other. For truths being unable to break each other are truths that can only accommodate and allow for each other. And truths that must accommodate and allow for each other are truths that are effectively aware of themselves and each other. This means that they are truths that are conscious of themselves and each other. And this consciousness does become exalted when its own self-knowledge and desire for love are realized fully enough, balanced and integrated coherently enough. So you, Mark, are correct when you say that there are primal energetic forces of existence. But you are incorrect when you say that they are blind and unthinking, because these energies affect and influence each other, which is mechanistically synonymous with them being conscious of themselves and each other. And Jason, you are correct when you say that the flow of the space-time continuum is exalted. But you are incorrect when you say that there is only one who can be said to be the object of exaltation. Because the truths of existence are true throughout all existence, true of all existence, and no single part of creation can take the credit for all the rest of it, because any single part of existence is as subject to the truths of existence as all the rest of existence. The two friends listened to Rebecca and considered her words. "So, gentlemen," said Rebecca, "you are both correct, up to a point, and yet incorrect on certain details. Do you agree with me on this?" Both men furrowed their brows. "My school of science," said Mark, "forbids me from accepting conjecture as fact unless it is supported by empirical observation of the physical world. And we have strict regulations regarding what can be said to qualify as accurate and reliable empirical observation of the physical. While what you say sounds reasonable to my mind, I do not see how it can be verified by looking through a microscope or telescope." Rebecca absorbed these words and then turned to look at Jason. "My Church of the Exalted," said Jason, "forbids me from accepting any interpretation of our sacred scriptures that diverges from my Church's interpretation. I am permitted to wonder and marvel at the nature of the divine, so long as I agree that there is only one who can be said to be truly exalted. While what you say sounds reasonable to me, my Church interprets you as being a heretic." Rebecca nodded. "And so it is," she said. "So what are you guys having for dinner tonight?"